Hi one and all. So in the previous class we covered about a sequence. Sequence is basically a group of logical steps. Usually those steps will be in linear fashion in order to complete a task T or a process P, right? And usually we learned this is nothing but a smallest type of project that you can able to build using UiPath Studio, and we gone through the example for a sequence also, right? And we covered about activities means what. Usually activity means a unit of action, and where actually you can get the activities from the activities panel. So usually activities panel will give a search box. So this is a search box where the user can enter the keywords over here, and automatically the result will be filtered in this window, and you can choose which one you need. For example, if you need an activity of attached browser, then you can drag this and you can put that into a designer panel, right? So all these we have seen through the examples. And last but not the least, we learned about the workflows. Workflow is nothing but a sequence of steps, usually which is used to perform a particular task, right? And usually this workflow will be added as one of the step in the sequence which is used to perform a process called P, right? Correct, no? And remember, this workflow T can be added either in the middle or in the top or at the bottom. Usually it depends on the requirement. And we learned about how to create a workflow and how to sequence that workflow in a sequence of actions to complete a task or a process P in the last class itself. And we learned the advantages of creating a workflow, right? In today's class, objective is we shall see what are flowcharts means, and we shall see at a high level when to use the flowcharts. After this, we shall learn few of the control flow activities supported by UiPath Studio, and I will try to cover these control flow activities in today's class. So the objective of today's class is to learn about flowcharts, and we shall see an example for creating a flowcharts, and we shall see the control flow activities, and we shall see practically we shall go through these four activities in today's class with an example, right? Okay, we shall start with the flowchart. As per the author, a flowchart is generally used for complex business process, it seems. To automate a complex process, make it simple, and it will provide decision making facilities, it seems. For example, you have seen if else switch. So usually these are statements which you have used in Java or in C in order to control the flow of execution, right? Similarly, even here there are control flow activities which will control the flow of execution based on the conditions specified in the condition, right? So that's what here the author is telling. And this is what the another way we can quote that as we can add the activities here in flowchart in different ways, it seems. I will give a simple example over here. So far we have automated the task by adding the actions in the sequence only, right? A1, A2, A3 like this, which is used to perform a process called a P, right? So here in case of flowchart, you can have a process or you can automate a process by adding activities or actions in a different ways, it seems. Like for example, A1 here, then A2 here, then A3 here, then A4 here, let us say A5 here. So okay, and the process has to be executed like this. First A1 action has to be performed, then it has to check the condition specified in action A2. If it is true, then perform action A3. If it is false, then perform action A4, right? After performing A4, come back to A5. After performing A3, come back to A5, so that your task will be or a process will be completed. This is what he is telling. Okay, we shall see a real example for having a project which will have can say a pattern like this, right? Okay, and another advantage of flowchart is reusability, it seems. We can able to reuse this structure for another project or a similar project, it seems. Okay, this is what I said. This is an example for logical operators. Like if here I have used if do this, else do this. So that is an example for logical operator. We shall see other logical operators as the classes goes on, right? And a flowchart branch are set to true or false. I mean label true or false by default. However, you can change this name by using properties panel, it seems. We shall see even this by taking an example, right? Now I will we shall do a simple exercise which will help you to create a flowchart using UiPath Studio. Then I will come back to control flow activities, right? Okay. So I will go back to UiPath Studio now. Okay. Then we shall start with a new process or a project. Okay, then I will give here the name as flowchart process itself. You can give any name, but try to give a meaningful name. And I want to store the source files in this directory. You can have or you can specify your own directory for that matter. Okay, now I will go to the designer panel, right? Okay, now it is designer panel is empty. Okay, see here designer panel is empty. Okay, I will go to the activities panel. Okay, then I will search for using a keyword called flowchart. So this is the flowchart. Can you see icon here or a structure here which shows you can have a project which needs different activities aligned in this manner, right? So that's what theoretically I said, and drop it over here. Okay, this is how it will looks by default. See here the icon and double click if you want to go inside that flowchart content. Usually it will have a node called start node which will specify the beginning of the sequence. Okay, right? After that you can have sequence inside the flowchart. You can have sequence inside this flowchart, right? Okay, and you need to connect okay, you need to connect this sequence. Okay, make it simple. Okay, you need to connect. See, if you take the mouse or near to the start node, can you see four small boxes will appear in all the sides? Can you see here? So take the mouse pointer and click the left mouse button and hold it and bring it to the sequence. Automatically the small four boxes will also be popped up in the sequence box, and leave the left mouse button click. So can you see it has connected? It has to be connected like this. And initially see here the sequence has 0 actions, right? And we shall have an actions, or we shall add actions to the sequence. If you want to do this, double click on this. Now see here, previously we are in the main designer panel or a main function. Then inside that we have created a flowchart. Inside that flowchart we have a sequence, right? This is how you need to interpret in future. Then in the sequence we need to add the activities here, right? Okay, now we shall do this exercise. So far we have not created a robot which will take input from the user, right? And but we have seen the robot which has displayed the output in the output panel, right, or in the message box, right? So this is the first example. So listen carefully, where I am providing an input to the robot, right? So to do that we will use, or we have to use, an activity called input dialog box. So input dialog box, drag it and drop it over here. And the input dialog box will have two text box. One is title and the other one is label. Usually in the label part you need to specify what actually you are expecting from the user. For example, let us say I want to ask what is the course name. So what is the course name? Like this you can ask what is your name. Okay, so remember in the label part, okay, within double quote you need to specify what actually it should be printed or should be displayed to the user. It is like something like printf. Make it simple, printf or system.out.println in Java. Okay, then this is the area which will be used by the user to enter the value. So usually the value entered by the user will be in the form of a string. Remember, usually the input will be in the form of a string. Let us say I want to store that string in a variable. Okay, so that theoretically we have seen where we can able to create a variables in the variable panel, right? So just click on the variable panel, then click it over here, then it will ask for the name for the variable. I will enter the name of the variable as name itself. Okay, and here this is the place where you can decide the type of the variable. So don't worry about all these types. Okay, for the time being, understand I want to assign the type of this variable as string, and here you can control the scope whether the scope should be a flow chart, I mean top, high level, or the sequence itself. Let it be the sequence, and here default is the one where you can enter the default value. I will come back to this default value later. For the time being, understand this is the column where you can enter the default value for the variable. Clear? Okay, now we have successfully created a variable called name. This is how you can able to create the variables in UiPath environment or studio. So clear? Okay, now I want to store the value that is entered by the user using the input dialog in that variable called name. To do that, select this and go to the properties. Can you see I am in properties panel, and can you see output or result over here, right? Then click on three double dots. A window will appear, and specify. Can you see here automatically it will pop up what I can say, the entities which are in the scope, but I want to go with a local variable, right, which is of type string. Then select this. Okay, then click OK. Now the meaning is the value entered by the user in this input dialog box will be stored in a variable called name. Is it clear? Okay, then after this I want to display that name in the message box. So I will take one more activity called message box, which is once again a dialog box which will display the string which will be entered over here, okay, to the user. But here I don't want to display the constant string. Instead I have to display the, can you see here automatically it will pop up, I want to display the content of the variable called name. Double click over here. Okay, now I hope we have successfully created a simple flow chart which has a sequence inside it. Inside the sequence we are asking the user to enter the name of the course through this input dialog activity. After that we are storing that result in a variable called name, and then we are using one more activity called message box to display the content of the variable name. Clear? We shall check this, okay, by clicking on the run button or debug button specifically. Okay, can you see a window here? Okay, this is the window created by input dialog box. Okay, now I will enter the course name as RPA, stands for robotic process automation. Then I will click OK. Can you see there is one more window which is called message box, which is displaying the content of the variable name in this window. Dialog box. Can you see there? Okay, now we successfully created a simple flow chart which will ask the name of the user. Okay, then that entered name will be displayed by using the activity called message box activity. Clear with this? Okay, if you have any doubt you can please ask me once again. I will go with a different example or the same example to clarify your doubt. Clear with this? Okay, we shall come back again. Here we covered a flow chart at a high level, and we learned practically how to create a flow chart, and we learned one more interesting point, how we can able to get the input from the user, right? Okay, then I will prove reusability, everything as the classes goes on. Clear? Okay, properties panel, we said we look something about properties panel. Later on I will show you how to change this default name true false in the coming classes. Clear? Okay, now with this we shall move ahead. now we shall see the different control flow activities supported by UiPath Studio. So control flow, as the name itself says, control the order in which the actions are performed to perform a particular task T or a process P, right? And UiPath provides numerous activities, it seems. Already we have seen few of the activities supported by UiPath Studio in order to perform the actions, right? But particularly here we will focus on activities which is used for decision making, right? And we learned about this activities panel, right? So this is nothing but the panel. This is the activities panel. The author again is trying to recall the activities panel over here, right? And we can use drag and drop, as I already said, right? Okay, different types of control flow activities supported by UiPath Studio are this. Okay, the assign activity, delay activity, break activity, while activity, do while activity, for each activity, if and switch. Okay, I will try to cover these 4 activities in today's class, as I said, and in the coming class we shall see about do while, for each, if and switch. Now we shall start with the simplest activity called assign activity, right? So as the name itself says, the job of assign activity is to assign, designate a value is nothing but assigning a value to the variable, or you can assign the incremented value to the variable, or you can store the results of some difference, multiplication, generally nothing but computation result can be stored in a variable using the assign activity, right? Okay, don't worry, I will give an example. Okay, I will cover delay activity also theoretically, then I will come back to the example and I will show you what is the job of assign activity and what is the job of delay activity, right? The delay activity, as the name itself says, it's used to introduce some delay, it seems. Okay, or in order to give a pause to the automation, it seems. Okay, for how many duration? For a certain period of time. And how the user can able to specify the period of time specifically by using this format, hour, minutes and seconds. Okay, and activities plays a significant role, it seems. When this delay activity can be used, it seems, when there is a need for waiting time. I mean, if you want to wait for some period of time to open a particular application, then you can go ahead with the delay activity, it seems. Okay, and when you can go ahead with assign activity, when you want to assign a value to a variable, or one variable to another variable, or the computation result to a variable. For example, let us say there is a variable called x and there is a variable called y, and I want to store the result of x and y to a variable called z, then you can use assign activity. This is the meaning of assign activity, right? And I will come back, I will give a simple example for one situation where it needs a delay activity. As I said, when you need a waiting period time, then you can go ahead with a delay activity, right? Let us say I am trying to automate a process P which needs application A1 to be opened and application A2 also has to be opened then to complete a process P, right? So let us say A1 will be opened first, and after application A1 has been opened, it has to open application A2, right? But let us say due to a hardware feature or software feature or software itself, A2 will not start immediately, but it will take let us take 10 seconds to start an application A2, right? So if there is no delay component here, then you could not able to automate this process P at all. Why? Because when we trigger the robot, immediately it will start application A1 and it will expect A2 has to be started very immediately. But because of hardware or software configuration, A2 can't able to start very immediately, but it needs some seconds, like 10 seconds as I said here. Okay, now as a result, if there was no delay activity, you could not able to automate this process at all. Right now, with the delay activity, what you can do, you can introduce some delay over here, like for example 11 seconds delay over here, so that after waiting for 11 seconds, it can start using or opening application A2. Why? because at 10 second it will be get ready. So you are waiting for 11 seconds. So at the 11 second automatically A2 will be in a form, so that you can use A2 to complete the task or a process P. This is the idea of delay activity. Clear? Okay, now we shall see an example for these two, and we shall continue with the additional concepts. So first we shall go with the assign activity. Okay, I will directly go take the same example in order to save the time. Now what we have done, we have created an input dialog box which will ask the name of the course, and that name of the course will be displayed over here, right, directly by using that variable called name. Now what I will do, I don't want to use this name variable directly. Instead I want to use a variable called result. Okay, result, res, so make it simple, res. Let the type be string because we are dealing with the string over here. Okay, now what you can do means you can use assign activity over here, drag and bring it to here. Can you see here? Okay, this is the destination. Here the destination is result, once again a local variable which is of type string, and to this I want to assign the variable value of name. Just remember, make it simple, I am assigning the value of name to a variable called result. That is the job of assign. That's what I said. Okay, then after that, instead of displaying name content using message box, you display the content of result. Okay, now we shall see whether it will do the job. Okay, it is asking the name. I will enter as robotic. Just I am changing the inputs variables so that you have a good feel. Okay, robotic, can you see here? Robotic has been displayed over here. Clear? So this is the simplest example for assign activity. Okay, similarly you can instead of assigning one variable to another variable, I can directly assign a constant string value like this also. So in this case what happens, in this case whenever you run this particular robot, always it will display the value RPA because I have assigned a constant value to this variable. Clear? So that is the job of assign, and we shall see few more usage of assign as the classes goes on. Now we shall see an example for delay activity. Okay, now let us say immediately it was displaying the message box, right? Now after introducing some delay, see before delay, just observe. Okay, I will enter the input. So immediately it is displaying RPA, right? Now what we shall do, we shall introduce some delay. So to introduce some delay, which activity we have to use? Delay activity. So delay activity, then drag and drop it over here because I need to introduce delay over here. This is important. Depending on the requirement, you need to put the activities, or you need to place the activities. Click, select this. Can you see a property window? Go to the property window. Can you see here a duration? Okay, then how long it has to be wait? So it has to be specified in hour, then colon, minutes, colon, then 10 seconds. Okay, only in this format you need to specify the period of time or the duration. Now I want to introduce some delay of 10 seconds over here. Okay, now we shall see whether immediately it will display that value or it will take some time. See here, now it is taking some delay. Okay, it will wait for 10 seconds. Then after 10 seconds, yeah, it will display the message box. So that is the job of delay activity. Clear with the delay activity? Clear? Okay. Then we shall, with the hope, I will continue with the break activity and a while activity, and I will stop by giving an example for break and while in today's class, and we shall see the coming activities in the coming classes. So I hope you have heard the word called break keyword in Java or in C, right? The main job of break activity here is similar to the break keyword which you have learnt in C or in C++ or in Java. Usually is used to break or stop a current loop at particular point, right? Okay, and author is telling that usually it will be used in for each activity it seems. So make it simple. Usually break keyword is used inside a looping statement, right? Okay, and as I said, whenever, well, what is the purpose? Whenever you want to stop the repetition at a particular point of time, then you can use a break activity, right? So what is the job of while activity? So this activity is similar to while keyword that you have used in C or in C++ or in Java, and the main job of while keyword which you have learned over there is whenever you want to repeat a task for certain number of times, or make it simple until the condition becomes false, then you will go for while activity, right? Or a while keyword, right? Exactly in the same way, if the purpose is same, then here that can be performed by using an activity called while activity, which will execute a statement or actions or a process based on certain condition, right? Until that condition becomes false, the loop will be get executed, right? Okay, and this activity is useful for repeating, it seems. Iterating is nothing but iterating over an array of elements. I will come back to array later here. Clear? Okay, now we shall see an example for these two and we shall conclude the session, right? Okay, I will modify the same what I can say sequence. I will delete this, okay, but I will keep it instead of result. Okay, I don't need even input dialog box. Okay, we shall start from beginning. So in the while loop, you have seen that the initialization condition has to be specified at outside the while loop, right? So for initialization, I will take the assign activity, and which activity we need? We need while activity. So while activity. Okay, can you see while activity has two parts? One is the condition, where the condition has to be specified over here, and the body of the loop, right? Okay, now usually you have to specify the initialization outside the while loop, right? So for that I have taken assign activity. I don't need these two variables, so right click, delete, right click, delete. This is how you can able to delete the variables. Here I need a variable of type, name with I, and interesting, here the variable should be of type integer, 32-bit. I will come back to that. What is 3264? By default it is 32-bit here, right? And the scopes, let it be sequence. I don't need default value because I will give value for this here itself. So we have a variable, looping variable called I, and initial value of that I is 0. Now here I will specify the condition that until I less than 5. So less than, greater than or equal to, all these relation operators can be used here, even here. We shall see about those with a few more examples in the coming classes. Then what we have to do is we need to just write the value of I onto the output panel. For that I will use an activity called write line. So what it has to do, it has to write the value of I, right? So just I will write I, which is nothing but a local variable. Okay, then after this, okay, interesting, before moving ahead, can you see some exclamatory mark here? That indicates there is something error which has been introduced by this. We shall see what is that error. So compiler has encountered error, it seems, while processing I, because something implicit conversion from integer to string, it seems, means it is expecting a variable, write line is expecting a variable of type string, but I am passing a variable of type see here, integer. That's what the problem here it is. So to convert this integer to string, there is a method called toString. I think people familiar with this in Java or .NET. Okay, make it simple. Even here a dot operator is used to invoke a method. Okay, dot toString. Okay, make ensure that this toString is a library function which has been predefined, whose job is to convert a value, integer value, okay, or generally integer value, to a string format, toString. Okay, now that error has been erased, right? Then after that, in the body, we should either have an increment or decrement part, right? So for that, I will use assign activity here. So I want to assign the new value for I as I plus 1. So now see here, we are using assign activity, for like I plus 1, or I can use for assigning the increment value. Okay, there is a plus. Okay, it is okay. I will come back to this. It's treating that as an integer. Don't worry, I will come back to that. So make it I plus 1. So make it simple. Just I want to assign plus 1 I plus 1 value to I. Now we shall see whether it will perform the job. So just what I am trying to do means this sequence has a while loop, where as we know that initialization has to be done outside the while loop. So I is equal to 0 has been assigned here. Then until I less than 5, it will try to write the value of I, right? So what should be the expected output? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Can you see here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the output that has been created by our sequence, right? Okay. So this is the, see what I am repeating here, I am repeating write line activity or an action for n number of times generally, so or until this condition become false. This is what I was theoretically said, that is the job of while statement, right? Okay, now we shall see a break. What is the job of a break activity? I have break activity here itself, so just drag and drop it here. Okay, now what would be the output? What would be the output? So here initially it will assign the value 0 to I, then it will check whether 0 is less than 5, yeah, true. Then it will come to the body, then it will write the value of current value of I, which is 0. Then immediately there is a statement called break. So this break will take the control out of this while, right? And after while we don't have any more actions here, hence it will terminate. So in this case the expected value will be 0. See here, the expected value will be 0. Why? Because of break, it is terminating the loop at that point itself. This is what theoretically I said. The job of break activity is used to terminate the loop at a point where, I mean at a particular point which you are which has been specified by you, clear, depending on the requirement, clear. So with this we covered a few of the activities, particularly control flow activities supported by UiPath Studio. So assign activity we gone through, delay activity we gone through, break activity we gone through, and even while activity we gone through. And in the coming classes we shall go ahead with the other activities, and we shall see a few more usages of whether it may be assign, delay or a break in the coming classes also, clear. So with this I will conclude the session. If you have any doubts, you can ask me either through WhatsApp or through a mail. So thank you one and all.